Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Presley Mania. My name is Rhonda, and today we are going to be talking about an article that was recently written in Vanity Fair regarding Priscilla Presley. Let's get started, shall we? Priscilla Presley has shed some light on why she never remarried after Elvis. Speaking during a Q&A at the South Point Casino in Las Vegas on Friday, in light of Sofia Coppola's Priscilla, she confirmed that she intentionally never married again. I just don't think he could handle that. To be honest with you, I never wanted to marry after him. I never had any desire, she said. Her most serious relationship was with writer-director Marco Garibaldi, whom she was with for over 2 decades. Together, they had a son, Navarone Garibaldi, but were never married. No one could ever match Elvis, Priscilla said. Okay, well, let's break this down. First of all, I'd like to address the first statement that she didn't think Elvis could handle it. Seems to me that Elvis did handle it. He had moved on. He had a 5-year relationship with Linda Thompson. Then he was engaged to Ginger Alden in 1977. Doesn't sound to me like a man who couldn't handle it. I think he was doing quite well, in all honesty. Could it possibly be that Priscilla couldn't handle giving up the Presley name? Let's talk about a little more on that in a bit. Let's address the issue of she never wanted to remarry. Okay, I found an article that was written in Page 6 recently, and I'd like to just read you a few things that is said in there. Priscilla Presley, who divorced Elvis 50 years ago after a turbulent 6-year marriage, claimed in a Q&A event last week that she had never wanted to marry after him because no one could ever match the music legend. But Priscilla, 78, is not telling the whole story. In the mid-1970s, after her split from Elvis, she fell head over heels for another man, Robert Kardashian. That's right, Robert Kardashian, who was the future husband of Kris Jenner and the father of Kim, Kourtney, Khloe, and Rob. Okay, an insider said that Kardashian was, at one time, desperate to marry Priscilla. Priscilla made Robert very happy, their close friend John Migdal told me for my book, The Kardashians, an American Drama, published in 2017. He wanted to marry her and have children with her. That was definitely his hope, his plan. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is lengthy, but I'm going to skip on down to another notable point. Tom Kardashian, who would go on to have a long and happy marriage with Joan Esposito, admitted he developed qualms about Priscilla when he saw how controlling she was of his brother. Priscilla really changed a lot of my brother's thinking of how he should dress, how he should even drive, and what he should do. And she changed him easily because she was so attractive, and so she had an influence on him. Tom told me in interviews for my book. But there was another side to the story. Priscilla felt that Robert was trying to control her, like Elvis. Sounds to me like maybe she was trying to control him, but I digress. Let's keep on going. Anyway, she felt like Robert was trying to control her like Elvis did, and it was in a situation that manifested itself when Kardashian wanted to turn her into a domesticated Armenian housewife, and that infuriated Priscilla, Migdal said. Priscilla once tried to make dinner for Robert because he kept asking her. So Priscilla said that one night she cooked asparagus and she made this and she made that, and she went out of her way to make it perfect, and he hated it. She said that after that meal, he never suggested that she make dinner for him again. Angry, Priscilla made it clear that the possibility of marriage was no longer in the cards, telling Kardashian, "Look, I'm not going to marry anyone until Elvis dies." Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So it sounds to me like she had entertained the thought of marrying him. Let's move on to another point that I would like to make. According to Lisa's irrevocable trust, Lisa Marie Presley is who I'm speaking of. According to her irrevocable trust that is dated October of 1993, this is found in Article 5, Distribution of Income and Principal during the Lifetime of Settlor. You can find this information I'm about to tell you. Marco Garibaldi is listed as the spouse of Priscilla B. Presley. Okay, many of you are probably saying, well, she says she never remarried. Yeah, that's what she says. That's exactly what she says. But this is a legal document, and they have to be accurate. Why would that be listed in there if they were not indeed married? Okay, well, another argument that you might throw out there would be, well, if they were married, there should be some type of public record, right? Not necessarily. In California, the law allows for confidential marriage licenses. These are not part of the public record, and the marriage very well could have been hidden. So you can check that out. I've looked it up, and that is indeed correct. It is also interesting to note, if they did indeed marry, are they still married, or did they divorce? Well, if they divorced, you would think that that would be part of public record, right? Well, not in California. You can divorce someone and request that the records be sealed. And I would think if the records for the marriage were sealed to begin with, if it was a confidential marriage license, that it would be more than likely that the judge would grant that a divorce be sealed as well. The only two people who can see a sealed divorce document are the people that filed the divorce, the parties involved in the divorce. So in this case, if Priscilla was married to Marco, Marco and Priscilla would be the only two people who could see that. Think about that. And let me know what you think. Let me hear your thoughts on that point I just made. It is also interesting to note that Priscilla requested, when she filed the suit against Riley, do y'all remember that, after Lisa passed away? She filed a suit against Riley 2 weeks after Lisa passed, stating that the trust was wrong, that she should still be in control, various things. And she wanted those documents sealed. Is it possible that once they settled, the reason she wanted them sealed was because she knew that Lisa's irrevocable trust was attached to those documents? And in that irrevocable trust, it states that Marco Garibaldi is her spouse. I don't know. It is just something that has crossed my mind, and maybe something that you should give pause to and think about. Let's address the last point in the article. No one could ever match Elvis. I'm sorry, I find that laughable. No, I don't think anyone could probably ever match Elvis. But Priscilla obviously thought someone could. We've already established that there is an article that states she was considering marrying considering marriage to Robert Kardashian, that it's possible she did marry Marco. I don't get that statement at all. No one could ever match Elvis. Well, it sounds to me like you had two people you were considering to begin with. Okay, well, let's just say that none of those things were really true. Isn't it still funny to think that if no one could match him, that you left him? No one could match him, but you left him. Why did you have 2 affairs on him? I don't know. She had an affair with her dance instructor, and she had an affair with Mike Stone, and that's been duly noted. You know, I mean, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I am not going to sit here and claim that Elvis was innocent and that, you know, the gate didn't swing both ways, because Elvis had affairs on Priscilla as well while they were married. None of it was right. They were both in the wrong. But it's her statements that she makes that concern me. No one could match Elvis. Well, if no one could match him, then what were you doing out looking and catting around? You know? I mean, that's just how I see it. I also wanted to end this with just a list of some people that Priscilla dated after her divorce to Elvis, because was she looking for someone to match Elvis, or what exactly was it? Mike Stone, 1972 through 1975. Terry O'Neill, who was a famous photographer, she dated him in 1975. Robert Kardashian, 1975 through 1976. Michael Edwards, 1978 through 1985. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this right. Ellie Ezerzer, he was a hairdresser from 1976 through 1978 is when she dated him. Kurt Kerkorkian, he was a billionaire. He had lots of money. And Marco Garibaldi. Those are just a few of the people that she has been linked to. I don't know. I don't know her thinking. I'm not sure why she said the things she did. But it seems to me that we have proven through going through this line by line and bit by bit that maybe some things aren't exactly truth. I hope you've enjoyed my little segment. Please hit the subscribe button if you liked what you saw. And if you also hit that bell, it will notify you when I upload a new video. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate the fact that you took a minute to listen to what I had to say. Please leave your comments down below on your thoughts as to this article that I just read you. And maybe you have some different ideas than I do. I can't answer every single comment that's made. I get so many of them, but I do read every single one. So be sure and leave them and know that I am reading them. And thank you so much again for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy life. You only get one chance to live it. Bye, everyone.